And we're going straight to Nigeria, where the Senate is currently divided along party lines as lawmakers throw accusations and counter-claims and accusations at each other over the nation's worsening security crisis. Now, earlier, the People's Democratic Party, Caucus, as the PDP in the Senate, accused President Muhammadu Buhari of being incapable of tackling Nigeria's current security crisis. However, in a new twist, the All Progressive Congress, that's the APC Senate Caucus, reacted to the claims.
Now, members of the caucus, led by the Senate Majority Leader Abdullahi Yahaya, says that the caucus is worried that the minority party is playing politics with the current unfortunate situation.
Now, Yahaya says that the APC caucus is fully behind Nigeria's president and has confidence in his ability to tackle the nation's current insecurity challenges. All right, so a bit of a tit for tat and out there in the House. But joining us this morning to dissect the recent happenings there is the Professor Nwokobia, Chukwudumebi Nwokobia, who is the convener, Country First Movement. Welcome to Breakfast Central, Professor. Good morning to you.
All right, good morning, Professor.
Professor Nwokobia, if you can hear us, you just have to unmute your audio and we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So while we wait on to have the professor on, well, so it continues this time in the House there. So it's claim and counter-claim. And, well, it looks like perhaps
it's back. I think it's back right now. Oh, okay. Good morning, Professor Nwokobia.
Good morning. My pleasure to be with you.
Good morning, sir. All right, now looking at the division that is going on at the House, how best can we describe this division ongoing at the Senate in tackling insecurity?
I think that the first thing we must note is that Nigeria is at the dire strait. We're a nation in trouble, and we must elevate our call for improved national security beyond partisanship. That's where I have a problem with what we see at the level of the upper chamber of the National Assembly. They aren't doing a good job of it. They should raise the bar beyond partisanship because insurgency, banditry, villainy, terror, and terrorism is indiscriminate of party colors and party flags, is indiscriminate of ethnicity, is indiscriminate of whether you're of the APC, the PDP, or any other party. It's about the safety of all Nigerians. And my mentor, Martin Luther King Jr., would say that we're held by a single garment of oneness, a single network of mutuality. What affects one directly affects the other indirectly. So I think that the time has come for us as a people to rise beyond the party flags and colors. The time has come for us to urge our leaders at the level of the National Assembly to put country first. The time has come for us to understand that when it is difficult for you to travel from Abuja by road to Kaduna, it's not because you're APC or the PDP, but because you're a citizen of a country in trouble. And I do sincerely believe that the time is now for us to think differently and work together as a people.
All right, Professor Nwokobia, now, do you think that this is now a political tussle now between these two sides, rather than finding a way out of the current insurgency bedeviling the country?
Yeah, like I said, the tussle isn't necessary. There is a partisan coloration to everything that happens in this country. But at this point, we should be concerned about our lives and our safety. We should be concerned about what affects us as a people. And it is beyond and should be beyond partisanship. I think that the time has come for Mr. President to speak out and speak up. I think the time has come for him to address the nation and urge a concerted effort indiscriminate of partisanship, a concerted effort against and above partisan lines, a concerted effort of all Nigerians to deal with this present malaise. Because if we do not have a country we can call our own, then how would you be APC or the PDP? I think that these are the fundamentals that we must look at and ask those who basically partisan obscurantists, ask those who see everything from partisan embers, ask those who see everything from the prism of the APC or the PDP to think differently. We must be alive first before we belong to parties.
All right, now, Professor Nwokobia, I mean, there's a statement that a lot of people are finding questionable, and this statement was brought in by the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed. He had come out to say that kidnapping, banditry is not a federal offense. What can we actually deduce from that statement at this time?
You know, when the people are troubled and some level of desperation sets in, when you struggle to defend the situation over and over again, you begin to engage in terrible folklore. You begin to sing songs that are absolutely discordant. You begin to say things that ordinarily people will wonder why you are saying them. But let me say clearly here, and very importantly, that we have a federal police. We do not have state police. And so when you make that kind of mistake and say, okay, these crimes are, crime is crime in Nigeria. And when you try to domesticate crime, when you have a federal police, then it's illogical with all sense of respect. And I think that that's where he made a terrible faux pas. That's where I think that the time has come for our dear Minister of Information to understand that the time is now for us to rise beyond partisanship and admit the fact that our party and our government isn't doing profound. I don't know whether you are aware that after I left the party in 2017, I'd returned to the party in 2021. Okay. And I think that the time has come for us to nudge the party from within and call a spade by its name. Only truth can save us at this point. Okay. You know, when you try to indirectly blame state statements, then we're making a fundamental mistake. I think that whether you like it or not, you need a federal police to arrest until we change the constitution, until we restructure. You need a federal police to arrest the bandits. And so if you do need a federal police, then the blame must be squarely put at the doorstep of the federal police and indeed the federal government. We need a government that must take responsibility. Our dear president must rise up to the challenge. Like I said, he must address Nigerians and reassure Nigerians that the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria cares about the country.
All right, Professor Nwokobia, do stay on the line. Thank you very much, but do stay with us right here on Breakfast. We still have lots to cover on the program. We're going straight to our second stop story of the day. Now, while the Senate remained divided, Nigerians joined in rejoicing over the release of 29 students of the Federal College of Forestry and Mechanization, FACA, in Kaduna State. Now, one of the parents who led the protest to the National Assembly complex yesterday, as Abdullahi Usman, confirmed the development. Now,
Usman says that they were among the 39 students abducted from the school almost 60 days ago. The abductors had initially demanded over 500 million naira ransom from the Kaduna state government, which was dismissed by the state governor, Nasir El-Rufai, saying that the state will not negotiate.
All right, we still have Professor Nwokobia with us. Professor Nwokobia, this is the latest. Good news when you might look at it in some respect. The remaining 29 students abducted from the College of Forestry and Kaduna have regained their freedom after 54 days of captivity. Prof, what hope does this bring, to the fight against insurgency?
I think that, and I said this clearly, I lost a sister about 6 years ago to kidnappers, So I know exactly what parents, siblings, and family members feel when bandits kidnap people and ask for ransom. I feel the pain very deeply, and that is why I just must align with you when you said it's a good news. But the time has come for us to rise beyond and above the call for such good news. I think that this banditry and this criminality must be nipped in the bud. I think the government must rise to the challenge. I think that those who should pretend to work as security architecture can do better. I truly, and I almost have tears in my eyes when I saw the pictures. I had tears in my eyes when I saw the pictures of those who were released, looking very unhealthy. They've been in the forest without food, without water. Some have become very anemic. Some have become very sick. And I asked myself, is this what we get for being citizens of a country blessed by God with amazing munificence and riches ineffable? Is this what we'll get being citizens of a country that holds the promises for a better Africa? Is this what we'll get being citizens of a country that can do better than it is doing today? I do sincerely believe that the time has come for the media to rise up to the ante, for the civil society to learn to speak up, for politicians to admit that this political leadership is doing or performing less than expected. I think that when we say so and when we speak up, what it does is to make the presidency sit out. What it does is to make our dear party, the All Progressive Congress, admit that it must do better than it's doing today.
All right, Prof. Now talking about the presidency, the number one citizen, President Muhammadu Buhari, he has had series of meetings with the security chiefs in the last few days. In your candid opinion, what can the government do to arrest these issues at all levels at this point in time?
I'll give three very strong suggestions, and I've done that lately on several fora. The first is to declare a state of emergency on security, if you like. Make sure that the Nigerian police, the Nigerian armed forces, the civil defense and all that collaborate effectively in dealing with issues of insecurity. And when you declare a state of emergency, it means that every villainous group, every villainous organization, every bandit, every insurgent becomes an enemy of states, strictly. And it means that you're given the license to security agencies to deal squarely with them. And it means that you're throwing your weight behind them. It's not such that at the end of the day, we'll begin to hear that, oh, they are his people or they're not his people. That's point number one. Then point number two, which is a midterm effort, declare a state of emergency on education. An educated society will have no place for this level of villainy and banditry. And I say that advisedly. Nigeria is harvesting a bad seed we sowed over the years when we left their marginal kids unattended, when we left our educational system to decay, when we, like Patrick Umot would say when he was deported in 1990 by the former government of Ibrahim Badamasu Babangida, he said his crime was to have taught the young to think. When you teach our young people, when they're educated, they will understand the primacy of lives and they will fend rather than do criminality. And the third one is to revive the instrumentality of the National Orientation Agency. You must begin to speak up to Nigerians now. Above all, very importantly, we must walk the path of restructuring to ensure that we have effective state policing and effective community policing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Chukwudumebi Nwokobia, for coming on Breakfast Central. We surely love to have you again. Such a delight, Professor. Thank you once again.
The pleasure is completely mine, and I believe that together we can make our country better. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Still more top stories to follow right here on News Central, Breakfast Central.
All right, we'll move on to Egypt, where the Egypt's government has announced new anti-corona health measures to combat the new surge of infections in the country. Now, the measures will begin from today and last for a 2-week period.
Now, the Prime Minister, that's Mustafa Madbouti, said that during a press conference that all shops, malls, restaurants, cafes and cinemas will close at 9 p.m, but that home delivery services will continue to operate as normal. He also added that all gatherings, conferences and celebrations held in social and sports clubs, restaurants and hotels will be banned.
Now, Madbouti also said that the Eid al-Fitr holiday will start on May 12 and end on May 16. And prayers will be held at the same mosques where Friday prayers are held, with precautionary measures already in place, adding that children will be prohibited from entering mosques.
All right. So moving on. Yesterday on Breakfast, we took a look at women and politics and how their inclusion can mean a lot more. Now, in line with that, Kenya, Tanzania have kick-started the process towards the long-awaited Mombasa-Dar es Salaam gas pipeline deal. Now, this received a huge boost following this week's meeting between Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan and the President of Kenya himself, Uhuru Kenyatta, in Nairobi. And the Tanzanian leader has been in Kenya on an official state visit, and NCTV's Horn and East Africa reporter Abdul Aden has more details.
It was a long trip that culminated at State House in Nairobi as His Excellency President Suluhu Samia of Tanzania, the first Tanzanian president in a while to visit Nairobi, was received by her host, President Uhuru Kenyatta, at State House, Nairobi. It was pomp and colour at State House, Nairobi, as the Kenyan band entertained President Suluhu Samia, where she also inspected a guard of honor. Two neighborly nations with historical relations, but of late, in terms of business, the two have suffered soured relations, especially on investors. This massively affected the trade relations between the two countries, leading to President Uhuru Kenyatta sending his emissary to meet President Samia Suluhu on a mission to address the stalemate. But it was all smiles in Nairobi as the two leaders met for further talks, and they later emerged in happiness. The speeches from the two leaders were largely dominated by messages of brotherhood and unity as they sought to strengthen the relations between the two countries and the investors. Kenya and Tanzania have one of the largest borders, even though they remain tourism competitors. They have now chosen to complement, not to compete. In Tanzania's investment table, Kenya is 5th globally in the countries with the largest shares of investment and the first in East Africa. Kenya's investment volume in Tanzania is worth $1.7 billion, creating more than 50,000 jobs in the Tanzanian employment sector. But the figure is very low for Tanzanians in Kenya, with a mere investment of $450 million. One of the major outcomes of the meeting between the two leaders today is the gas pipeline deal between Mombasa and Dar es Salaam. President Kenyatta was first to praise the milestone.
Kujenga pipeline ya gas kutoka Dar es Salaam mpaka Mombasa, na hiyo itarahisisha bei ya stima katika nchi yetu na itasaidia pia kuhakikisha ya kwamba
President Samia has added that our country was committed to the cause.
Swala la ujenzi wa bomba la kusafirishia gesi kutoka Dar es Salaam hadi Mombasa, huu ni mradi wa muda mrefu. Tunashukuru leo tumeweka kidole na kilichobaki ni utekelezaji, tutakwenda kusimamia.
Another aspect of the talks between the two leaders is the solution for the handling of COVID-19 pandemic at the borders. Whereas Kenya continues to handle the pandemic with more seriousness, the Tanzanian border on its part, because of its stand on the COVID-19, Kenya had created doubts, but now the health ministries will collaborate to address this stalemate.
Lakini jengine aliloliongeza Mheshimiwa Rais, na mimi nakubaliana nalo, ni kwa waziri wetu wa afya kukaa na kuangalia kurahisisha mfumo wa kuingia na kuchekiwa kwenye mambo haya yaliyoingia ya COVID au corona. Watu wetu wapate huduma za haraka, kupima, kuchekiwa ili waweze kupita na biashara ziendelee.
And now, President Samia Suluhu Hassan has invited President Uhuru for the country's Uhuru celebrations, that is independence in Swahili.
All right, so good to see. I think that perhaps is the first official visit from the new president of Tanzania straight to Kenya.
It puts a smile on my face. That's a woman who's making it happen in a country.
And she had the whole presidential, welcoming in Kenya.
Yes, she did. All right, moving on. So, Olisa, I need to give you this gist because this is what happened in South Africa. This was an event. I mean, it was a dramatic scene that was exposed. Now, there's this driver of an armored car. We saw him dodging bullets. I mean, he was doing like the Matrix style. You know what I'm saying? Like dodging. The guy was literally calm in a haste attempt. So he was dodging the gunfire like, whoa. You should, I mean, Olisa, I wish you were there. You probably would have been...
Why should I be there?
I mean, you could have...
my hand, my leg, no, they there.
All right, so let's just watch this. You need to see this.
my gosh.
What was that?
That was really scary. So clearly,
honestly, I was expecting that you would have said, "Oh, if I was there, this is what I would have done. I would have just, I would have just cocked the gun like."
Did you see the bullet holes going through the glass? Obviously, it's reinforced glass, so it couldn't go through.
I mean, it couldn't go through, and he
was trying to still dodge. And he told his colleague, who was the co-driver, to bring out his gun. He didn't bring out the gun. That was an automatic.
No, in my village they call it shakabula. That's a full shakabula, and the guy, it was loaded. He was just waiting to unleash it.
And this happened in South Africa?
Yes, in South Africa.
A heist. Were they carrying money? It seemed like inside of a bullion van.
Why are you interested in what is in the back of the car?
It felt like a bullion van.
Yes,
and
it
just
was
two of them. And they kept on, because they never stopped. They kept on driving and driving.
If now you go stop in that kind of situation.
Oh my gosh,
I won't.
That was really scary. Right, still to come right here on Breakfast Central. Coming up next, we'll take you to the English, all English finals, because it's Chelsea against Man City.
And on trending stories across the continent.
Also, Microsoft partners with Nigeria. We'll tell you how and why.
All right, from the thunderstorms and the sunshine, it is time to give you more updates on business. And who else can give us all the latest? Well, from NC Business Desk, we have Nas. A good welcome to the Breakfast Show today, this Thursday, Nas. How you doing?
I'm good. Great to be here, guys.
Good morning, Nas. Good morning. Now, we hear that Microsoft, has got some partnership with Nigerian government. Tell us all about it.
Well, this is a wonderful deal for Nigeria, because with this deal, Nigeria's digital inclusion will be actually actualized. Now, it's like a 3 to 5 year deal where Microsoft will enhance the training, will enhance connectivity. Now, Microsoft will train 1,700 trainers who will also now retrain people. Now, this is a plan that will ensure that at least 5 million Nigerians will be digitally empowered. Now, Microsoft, to achieve this, will also ensure that there's connectivity in the rural areas. Now, they're deploying their airband technology. Now, this thing has been tried and tested in the UK, so it's not something which has no pedigree. Now, with this, many people in the rural areas will be connected to the internet. Now, they're not stopping there. They will ensure that at least 25 to 27 Nigerians will be empowered digitally. Now, since the lockdown, Microsoft has been training people virtually. But this form of training now will not be virtual only. It will also involve in-person training, that is one-on-one interaction with those 1,700 trainers. Now, with this, many people will become project managers, will become digital marketers, practically enhancing the digital landscape in Nigeria. I would say it's a wonderful deal for Nigeria. To me, it is much more bigger than what Ghana got with Twitter or even what South Africa got with Amazon.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Nas, for that update. So that's a beautiful one for Nigeria.
You're welcome, guys.
5 million, that's quite
Over
a one.
20 million people will be employed. I mean, with the opportunities, we'll have a lot of project managers. We're going to have a lot of digital content providers as well. It means that the digital space in Nigeria should get ready for this that's coming. This is something big, and I'm looking forward to this.
5 million to be upskilled. All right, well, you can also follow us on digital space. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also on YouTube. It's at New Central TV is where to be. Yes. You have everything. They can also follow us, basically. Mine is quite simple, at Olisa141 on Twitter. And
mine is at NigerHalfCast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, on all digital platforms.
Yeah, because that's where all the discourse is happening these days.
Yeah. I mean, this is bigger than what Ghana had. This is bigger than what South Africa had. I mean, it just makes me remember. I always have an adage. They say the patient dog eats the fattest bone, and this is what happens when you wait for your turn, because turn by turn, Agidi must reach your turn.
Yes, indeed. Right then, you can also follow us also on Star Times channel 274. That's where to catch everything in terms of News Central. So you can also watch us digitally on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Or just watch us live on Star Times. Yes, all the news, especially Breakfast Central, 8 a.m.
And also, you know, we should also let them know that there are other platforms that we're coming on. You just need to stay tuned, stay glued. We are expanding our terrain, and you will be seeing us on other platforms. Just stay tuned, stay with Breakfast Central, and of course, with News Central TV. All right, there's still lots to come later today on News Central TV. News Central now, that will be 9 a.m. West African time. That's quite close, you don't want to miss that. And at 11 a.m. West African time, it's time for Business Edge with Ulolokwe Adeleru Balogun. And 9 p.m. West African time, we have NC Continental Prime. Don't miss it. All right, yes, welcome back. Now, talking about the digital space, there are millions of social media impressions that you cannot seem to catch up with every hour and every day. Well, we do have a tracker, and she's always spotting the latest trends. It is time for Trend Wave. Right, there is something I really cannot wrap my head around, especially from Monday up till today right now, is the fact that Nigeria's Nollywood actor turned politician, Desmond Elliot, is always trending. Lizzie, good morning to you. Lizzie, why? Why always Desmond Elliot?
It's so funny because after the, the NSAS protest in October, Desmond made some comments that apparently did not go down well with Nigeria, and especially the youth. He talked about the protests, he talked about the lootings and so many things that he saw the youth tweeting on social media, and he said that it was very disrespectful, and he called the youth children, and he even went ahead, allegedly, to say that they should push a motion to ban social media usage for youth, and definitely this did not go down well with the youth. And you know what I told you guys earlier about the social media never forgetting. So because of this now is the cause of every problem that anybody faces on social media. If anything happens to you, they will say Desmond is Desmond Elliot. If your head is paining you, they'll say Desmond Elliot causes. So that's why people are not finding it funny with Desmond.
All right, Lizzie, I also heard about something about a dancing Spider-Man. What is going on with this?
Absolutely. So on the social media space, we saw dancing Spider-Man. I mean, I grew up watching Spider-Man, and I was inspired by all the things he used to do. He was a fictional superhero character, also known as Peter Parker, that we obviously know was used to fight crimes for us. And then we grew up, watching him. But I saw this video on social media that's making the rounds of South African social media, and I want you to take a look at this.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so that's the video we saw on social media, and it's absolutely hilarious because Spider-Man dancing, when did that start? You know, when we go to parties, usually you go to birthday parties, we see these characters and they always stay in character, but I guess it just couldn't, he couldn't, you know, he couldn't help but dance to the Amapiano sounds. But let's take it now to Ghana, where the Fix the Country campaign has been on for 2 days as social media users take to social media to call out the leadership of the country and the President Nana Akufo-Addo to bring an end to the high cost of living and poor quality of life and economic hardship which the masses faces. The complaints users have been churning out are along the lines of inconsistent supply of electricity, graduate unemployment, water shortages, amongst other things. While this has been going on, a particular video has gained eyeballs as students in a primary school somewhere in Ghana are seen using what has been called the natural keyboard. I'm not sure you guys know what that is, but let's take a look at this video.
Idea.
Hey, put your hands on your natural keyboard. Yes, this is the natural keyboard. Hey, yes. We are typing here on the table. Hey, recording in China, may record. If you see that.
So what are the odds of actually learning with a natural keyboard? In a country where there is proper development, we should actually have a keyboard, a proper keyboard for the kids to learn. What do you guys make of this?
Sad. Seriously.
I choose to use the word creative.
Yes, but I choose not to see the funny side, Liz, because it just shows, you know, perhaps, it shows, you know, we're a bit backward, you know, in
Absolutely.
That
like, it's really ridiculous. But let's take a look at some of the tweets that people actually started putting out after this video. So this is one. He said, "This is sad. It's not funny. Very bad and unspeakable in this era of technology, information. Just the cost of one V8 can solve the entire problem in this school. Our crew leaders who are careless of the Ghanaian society, fix this country now." This one says, if we say fix this country, some people will be telling us to fix our attitude. Does fixing my attitude change that natural keyboard to a real keyboard? Apparently, some pro-government people came up with a counter hashtag for the fix the country now and said, oh, you know what, fix your attitude or fix yourself first before the government fixes it. And this is something that, this one says, and some people who do not think deep will tell you to fix yourself. Does the teacher teaching this need to fix himself before complaining of better educations for these kids? Sad. And there's a final tweet that also says that, you know, why this is ongoing, how does fixing your attitude actually fix the problem of the country? So that's what's going on in Ghana at the moment. But you know, last week I told you all about the trending phrases and phrases in popular culture at the moment. I told you we started out with Ichok, and then we went to we went to Ude Breeds, and we went to Kotso for me. But Ichok was introduced into popular culture by superstar Nigerian singer Davido. And guess what is new right now? Wow. A new Twitter emoji has been added to the array of emojis users have access to. So recall that before now, as the catchphrase continued to gain popularity, and Twitter users had come to social media to beg for an emoji for the catchphrase Ichok, because, and even Davido himself made a tweet saying that he needs this phrase copyrighted because it's actually getting out of hand. So now we have the Ichok emoji. How cool is that? You know, as expected, Davido in his usual giddy nature came onto Twitter to express excitement over this news, notifying his fans that his catchphrase has been endorsed by the Twitter CEO, Jack Dorsey. Let's take a look. So this says, even a Jack knows say Ichok. So you can see the emoji there with Davido's face and his hand.
Wow, it really chokes.
No, but I need to beef them. I need to beef Davido now. So if Davido didn't make it trend, would we have an emoji for that? Come on, there are so many other emojis that we should have had if that's the case now. Abba, what is that?
See,
let's take a look at some of the other tweets, because you know some Nigerians have also even said that you know, Davido is absolutely a pusher for Netflix. Nigeria says who they breed, Ichok. Some Nigerians said Davido is absolutely one of the best when it comes to pushing pop culture. He said Davido is easily the most influential artist in Africa. So absolutely, for me, Ichok, this is really amazing news. And let's just keep looking at and tracking so much more of this trend, and I'll bring it for you here on Trend Wave.
I'm biffing. What's all this? Thank you so much, Elizabeth. That was fascinating. All right, still to come on Breakfast Central.
Yes, indeed. Sports. Chelsea cruising to the Champions League final. We'll tell you all about that.
Programs to watch right here on News Central TV.
And outside Africa, the latest updates. All right then, welcome back to Breakfast Central with Olisa and Oluchi this morning. Let's go straight to sports. Well, blue is the colour, football is the game. Good morning to Chelsea fans. Well, if you didn't know, well, now you know. Chelsea are into the UEFA Champions League finals for the second time. That man there, Timo Werner of Germany, scored the first goal for them, and it was celebrations all the way. A bit of a save from the Senegalese goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy, to keep Chelsea in the game against the very fearsome Real Madrid side, who had their captain there, Sergio Ramos, back in the fold for the game. But let's really bring context for this one, because that man there, Mason Mount, scored the second goal after number 10. Pulisic came on to supply the assist for Chelsea. It means that Thomas Tuchel becomes the first man to lead two teams to the Champions League final back-to-back. He did that with PSG last year and has done so with his team, Chelsea, this year. So to really paint a context in this one, we can now bring on News Central's very own First Lady of Sports, Onyinyechi Obaro. Onyinyechi, good morning. Well, looks like it's going to be blue skies all the way.
Yes, of course. Chelsea fans cannot just keep their calm. Now, it's going to be an all-English final this time around. Man City go against Chelsea in the UEFA Champions League. Yes, looking at yesterday's game, I would say that I would give all to the coach, Thomas Tuchel there. Of course, Tuchel, just 3 months with Chelsea, and was able to take them to the FA Cup final and the UEFA Champions League final. I think he's achieved a lot. But we cannot forget the players, especially N'Golo Kante. It was all about N'Golo Kante yesterday. Not forgetting others too that had to chip in goals for Chelsea. Maybe Thomas Tuchel indeed has done a lot for Chelsea over there, going ahead of Zinedine Zidane and his tactics.
Well, it's quite an interesting one, but I think let's hear from the manager, Thomas Tuchel, and the goal scorer, the winning goal, Mason Mount. You know, celebrations for them after that one against Real Madrid.
They deserved to win, and first half was difficult because they had a lot of ball possession, made us suffer. But every ball win from us was dangerous. We were dangerous with counterattacks. We never lost the hunger, we never lost the desire to defend in first half. Second half was even better structure to defend. It was a fantastic performance in second half, and we could have scored so much earlier, so much more to be safe. But no time for criticism now. Is a fantastic achievement, and a big congratulations to the team.
Confident to words really at the moment, but great performance on tonight. It was a tough game. You know what they're like. They're going to come and they're going to give it everything. Forey is brilliant. We worked hard. We should have probably had about 5. I should have had 1 20 minutes before I scored. But look, the most important thing is we won tonight. We want to go into every game winning it, but it's not over. There's one more game left.
Yes, so Mason Mount scored a goal. It's a big one for Chelsea. They are in the finals. They got Manchester City. But today, Onyinye, likes of Arsenal and Manchester United also have, finals to get to.
Of course, I'll be expecting an all-English final too there in the Europa League. But we'll see how what it can bring. Of course, Arsenal go against Roma. We cannot just wait there with the likes of Roma and the Villarreal, Arsenal, all of them in the Europa League. Maybe Africans there, Neni and Aubameyang can bring something to the table for Arsenal. Now, Olisa, you're standing on blue there.
It's safe for me to say that we both do not belong to the blue team right now. Because from the colours we have on, we have similar colours.
Olisa is the only blue, and he's celebrating for Chelsea there.
But in my heart, spiritually, I'm wearing blue, just so you know.
All right, thank you. We'll catch you later at 11 a.m., 10:30 a.m. for In the Game.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, so this is where we have to call it a wraps on Breakfast Central this morning with Olisa and Oluchi.
Yes, we'll be here again tomorrow. Tomorrow is TGIF.
Wow, is it already?
It is, man.
Let's get it. So Thursdays, it was a wrap. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday. Don't miss it. Breakfast Central, 8 a.m. West African time. Once again, right here on News Central.
Central.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.